The first thing is you never attempted to close. How many of you, be honestly, have done the perfect presentation? You looked the part, you said everything word for word, everything went perfect, but you never had the chance to close them. You never had to ask, hey, have you heard enough to make a decision? Raise up your hand if you've ever done that. We all have. Why? Was it doubt? Was it fear? Was it you ran out of time because you went off on a tangent talking about something else? It's happened to all of us. A lot of the newbies, well, I would love to say the newbies, but people that have been in the game for a while have this problem. They've been doing it for 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 years, and they still haven't figured it out. So one of the reasons why you haven't closed is you never attempted. You have to ask. Hey, from a scale from 1 through 10, 10 being you love it, 1 being you wouldn't even do it for free. What number are you? I'm an 8. Awesome. What would make it a 10? How can I get this product in your hands right now? Attempt. The worst thing you're going to get is a no. Now, those of you that have been training with me, no is not necessarily a no. Now you're in the negotiations, right? That's the beginning. So the first reason why you're not closing is you never attempted. Number 2, pressure is perceived to be a bad thing. Oh, this is where we start to lose people. I don't like to pressure people. I'm just going to be nice. And they're going to buy from me. How many of you have family members? How many of you have longtime best friends? How many of you have people that look up to you and they still haven't bought from you? Just because they're related to you or you have a good relationship doesn't guarantee a sale. So the best example I normally tell my clients is, let's just say you're a basketball player and you're playing against a little elementary kid. You're going to be okay, right? You're just going to be like, all right, give him a chance, let him throw the ball, whatever. But all of a sudden I put you in front of LeBron James. I think you're going to have to press him a little bit. You're going to have to push him a little bit. This guy's a professional. He's bigger. So everyone is different. And there's going to be certain people that you are going to have to push a little bit. And in today's world, most people say that pushing is a little wrong. But if you truly believe that you have a product that can help them and you've asked all the right questions, and you know for a fact that they've been looking for something like this all their lives, and you can solve their problem, and you're the best person for it, and your company is the best, then why is it so hard to push a little bit? Because if you don't get that product in their hands, they're going to spend another 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years either trying to figure it out themselves or buying other things that are supposedly the same and they're not doing the job. So number 2 is pressure is perceived to be a bad thing. And if someone ever says, hey man, you're pushing too much, you simply just say, I apologize that my conviction for my product and company is so high that I'm trying to help you. You went from a pressure nagger to a professional because you truly believe you can help them. Number 3, unwilling to deal with emotions. Oh, how many of you get all butthurt when someone tells you no? Right? Get a little butthurt. Oh, it's just, times are tough. COVID. They cut my hours. Right now's not the time. And you get emotional to that. I had one lady that I just spoke to recently. She got emotional with the prospect. A week later, he buys a brand new car, and his objection was, I don't have enough money. He bought a brand new car, and he upgraded his home all in that 2 months radius. And she's heartbroken. She's like, what is going on? She became emotional. Before and after. So he never bought. Which one do you think is more important, guys? Insurance or a brand new car?
Insurance.
Insurance, of course.
Insurance too,
right? Especially if you have kids, you need some type of get a new car. So number 3, why you're not closing is you're unwilling to deal with emotions. You have to be unemotional. Professionals are not emotional. They acknowledge their situation with respect. If they say they don't have money, you acknowledge that with respect. But how many of you know the brokest people, but they got Jordans, they got a Rolex, and they got some nice rims on their car? People are going to spend money no matter what, guys. People love to buy. They hate being sold. Remember that. Number 4, you guys liking this? Give me a thumbs up if you're liking this. Man, yeah. Number 4, you're not completely sold on your product. Oh, this is a big one. Even if you have a 1.1% doubt about your product or company, well, let's go with the product because that's number 4. It's going to reflect. So those of you that are required to purchase your own product for your company, if you're not doing it, don't expect for someone else to do the same. You need to purchase your own products. This goes really big for network marketers. They say, hey, you're supposed to buy $200 worth, but yet you're only buying $20 a month. But yet you're going up to your downline, you're going up to your customers and saying, hey, you got to purchase this much. There's no conviction there. So you got to fully be sold on your product. If you're putting on a new roof and you hired another roofer because they were cheaper, you're not fully sold on your product. So number 4, the reason why is you're not completely sold on your products. Be sure to write this down. Number 5, incorrect estimate of efforts. We all want to make $1 million, 10 million, 6 figures, but we underestimate what is required to get there. I heard a person say, man, I got to make 20 calls today. I'm like, dude, the Grant Cardone team tells us that we got to do 300 calls today. That's too much. Well, don't expect to make the 6 figures. We underestimate the time and effort. That is why if you're part of the 10X community, they say 10X. You could never fail doing too much. You could only fail doing too little. So if you're doing exactly what the company tells you is required to make a certain amount, then don't expect to get those big results. If you're doing what your competitors are doing, the average competitor, don't expect to get bigger results. So number 5, incorrect estimate of effort. Number 6, being reasonable. Guys, you can't be reasonable. You cannot be reasonable. You got to be unreasonable. And again, it goes back to if you truly believe that what you have can help them, they're going to come up with every excuse in the book. And you have to be unreasonable. How many of you have gone to a store, or how many of you have been sold to, and you start blabbing out some stuff that doesn't even make sense? And you're like, dude, I don't even know why I said that. Raise up your hand if you've done that. I have. Yeah, I have. You got to be unreasonable. People are going to tell you whatever comes out of their mouth. Oh, and I love the ones that say, well, they start off with one thing, and then before you know it becomes like a whole story of other things. Be unreasonable. And one way to be unreasonable is, hey, I understand, I acknowledge that your life is crazy right now, but what is one thing that you truly want to fix right now? And then focus on that one thing. So number 6 is being unreasonable. Number 7, no financial plan. People are complaining, oh, dude, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. Well, yeah, because all you're doing is getting motivated enough to live paycheck to paycheck or to make just enough money. A financial plan is, hey, I want to have this much money in my savings. I want to have this much property invested. I want to have this much money in other investments. I want to have this lifestyle. That's a financial plan. That is something way bigger than I just need an extra $4,500 just to get by. No one's going to get motivated to wake up in the morning just to pay the bills. So you need to have a financial plan, guys. Number 7 is no financial plan. You need to have something that's going to get you in the morning and force you to wake up and make those phone calls. Number 8, objection that are only complaints. You go to the grocery store, you went in for toilet paper, you grab all this stuff, and then the guy's like, hey, that's going to be $217. What do you say? Holy crap, that's a lot of money. I just came for toilet paper. Does that mean you're going to put everything back? No, you just complained. It's not a real objection. And that is where you need to start understanding the difference between objections and complaints. When people say it's too much, it could just be that they're just complaining. They're still going to buy it anyway. How many of you have purchased something that it was way too much or something that you didn't need? You complained about it, but you still bought it. Raise up your hand. All day. You need to understand the difference. How do you understand it? Cardone, baby. Get the Cardone. But you need to understand the difference, because what happens is if I say it's too much and you're focused on price, what's going to happen? You're going to lower down your price, or you're going to lose the sale because someone is always going to beat you on price. There's always another company that's going to beat you. Number 9, or let's go back to number 8. Objection that are only complaints. That's number 8. Number 9, short of closing material. You don't have enough closing material. Lady tells you, I got to talk to my husband. You have no material for that. Let's wait 3 months. How do you overcome that? I don't have money. How do you overcome that? The timing's off. How do you overcome that? You need to have an arsenal of closes, because a lot of times those are just complaints. Those are just rebuttals that people make up. So in order to master the sales, you need to have an arsenal of information. So when somebody says, hey, I got to talk to my husband, awesome. I acknowledge that. But let me ask you this. Do you think your husband would have a problem with the product or the price? Oh, because he's not even there. So why should he have a problem right now? Right? Or, hey, I agree with you, but if your husband's a lot like my wife, he already knows you're talking to me already. Right? You just overcome it. Number 9 is short of closing material. And the last one, we are 3 minutes over. Incorrect barrier. You are your biggest barrier. Incorrect barrier. A lot of times you stop the sale. You stop what you're capable of. No one sees it but you. The person wants it, but you are the barrier because of doubt, of fear, of past experiences. Guys, you can do anything you want. You're not the same person that you were yesterday. You're not the same person that you were 10 minutes ago before I started talking about this. You have to remove that barrier. A lot of times you just got to just scoot back, avoid your ego, and just go for it. Go all in. So number 10, incorrect barrier.